Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the CWS. So last week, ladies and gentlemen, I said we would get a little bit extreme. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been quite a while since we've had a look at ECW, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? In fact, the last ECW pay-per-view I looked at was episode 43, ECW One Night Stand 2005. The last ECW show I did was August 6th, 2006 of WWECW. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like to live dangerously sometimes. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is March the 12th, 2000, and we are watching ECW Living Dangerously from the year 2000. Now, I would like to put out a quick disclaimer before we watch this pay-per-view. From 2000 me, when I watched this show, to 2021 me. In 2000, ECW was a little bit different. There are some things that I do not agree with what they have done then and now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this with two mindsets. One from the year 2000 and one from today. It is the fairest way that I can do this show, because there is the beginning of the show which I completely and utterly do not like, but I will go into that in just a moment, guys. So let's start with our show, shall we? We will. So our show kicks off with Father James Mitchell, who is an actual minister, which I never knew about that, kicking off the show by saying about ECW's 7 deadly sins. I enjoyed this. I really think Father James Mitchell is a good character. I fucking enjoy him. It's awesome. Just unpause it because I'm halfway through the show. My camera cut out halfway through, so I have to restart it. I do apologise. So I'll be looking up at the screen I've got in front of me just to make, just to put out notes. So the opening was great, and then we have Joe Gertner and Joey Styles welcoming the fans in Des Moines, Connecticut to the show. Joe Gertner is very interesting. I enjoy his, back in the day, I wasn't a big fan of his promos. I wasn't a big fan of when he talked. Loved him when he was with the Dudley Boys, but his that opening segment, I wasn't a fan of back then, and I'm still not a fan of it now. Basically, to give Bateman to it, he basically talks about a fan basically having sex with him to get a ticket to the show. No, just no. That would not fly. That was risque for fucking for 2000. It's fucking disgusting for 2021. I'm sorry, but it is. But it was a good way to get the fans involved. The fans were happy. The fans were nice. Cyrus comes out, basically says, "Look, Gertner, get the fuck out of here. You're disgusting. You're not what TNN means to the company." And basically, Gertner just says, "This is pay-per-view. Fuck you," and bugger off. Cyrus attacks Gertner. Joey Styles jumps on Gertner's back, on Cyrus's back, and then we get into the opening segment, which is Steve Corrino ridicules Laurie Fullington. Now, this is the Sandman's wife. I will never agree with male on female violence. I never do. At the time, both parties agreed to it. I am not a fan of this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really not. I have to admit that one. I am not a fan of this. It was, for me, back in 2000, I did not agree with it, and I definitely do not fucking agree with it at this moment in time. It is disgusting. Steve Corrino getting heel heat is a good, him getting heel heat, that's fine. Do not bring in another man's wife, because it's just disgusting. He ridicules her, she slaps him, and then he brings her over the guardrail, beats her up a little bit. Sandman comes out, Rhino then comes out, pile drives Sandman, and then gores Miss Fullington through a table. Absolutely fucking disgusting, and I do not agree with it. Later on in the show, I think it's after the Dusty Rhodes Corrino match, It's basically now that because Sandman's gone to the hospital with his wife, Rhino's into the final of the ECW TV World TV title because RVD had to relinquish the title due to injury, if I recall. Not a great way to start this show off. I felt a little bit sick watching this show. I still feel sick. You know, back then I felt sick. Today I feel even more sick, ladies and gentlemen, watching this show. But we will carry on because I don't think there's anything else in this that is to that level. But if there is, I will call it out for. I will call out and say this is disgusting. So we will carry on with Steve Corrino versus Dusty Rhodes for our first matchup, which is a bull rope match. So we just had Steve Corrino versus Dusty Rhodes in our opening contest, and this was very good. I thought this was a very entertaining matchup. 2000s me was enjoying it. It was very entertaining. It was fun. I wasn't listening to commentary when I was 6. Obviously, I was 6 years old when this pay-per-view aired, so I had it on mute when I was watching it. I watched it with the sound when I was about 14, if I recall. But when I was 6, obviously I did. You know, I watched the match until the blood happened, and then my eyes were covered, so I couldn't really watch the full match. Now that I've seen the match, it was a good match. It was very entertaining. It was a good way to actually finish off this feud. I don't think they actually do wrestle anymore. Dusty was great. Steve Corrino, I have to admit, is one of the underrated talents of ECW. I think he was really fucking good. I think he did actually hold the ECW title at one point as well. And he was really good. This match was very entertaining. Dusty being cut up the eye so the blood would fall into the eye so we wouldn't be able to see. That was great. Dusty just wanting to pummel the Corrino, which was great. The referee getting involved because he was attacked by both Corrino and Jack Victory. That was another good little selling point. Do I believe that should have happened? Not particularly, but it was good. It was good storytelling. Dusty gets the win with the elbow. 1, 2, 3. Fans are happy, and it was a great match. Next up, we have Louis dangerously riling up the ECW universe of the ECW fans. This is basically just a rip-off of Paulie Dangerously from WCW, and to be honest, he does a really good job. C.W. Anderson and beautiful Bobby, whatever his name is, the new Dangerous Alliance. This was an entertaining matchup. Entertaining segment. The matchup is Danny Darwin and Roadkill versus the new Dangerous Alliance, which we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, this was entertaining. So, let's watch that tag team match. So, we just had the new Dangerous Alliance versus Danny Darwin and Roadkill. Danny Darwin and Roadkill were a really good tag team, I thought. They were the number 1 contenders leading into this match with Elektra. This was good. Again, situ of me when I watched it. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was wrestling, so I wasn't bothered. 14-year-old me was like, why is Elektra out there? Who is this woman? And again, teenager. But again, wrestling was great. There was a few miscommunications. There always will be. But this was a fun match. It was very entertaining, and 2021 me, I enjoyed it. There were a few botches here and there. It was bad, but those were bad. But it was good. It was very entertaining. Next up, we had the Impact Players vowing to win the tag team titles. Lance Storm is on my boys list. I love Lance Storm. I think he's great. Dawn Marie, Lance Storm, just incredible. These 3 people were great together. They were the Impact Players. They were great. Then Simon Diamond comes out to basically say Simon has a problem. Judge comes out, which is Mike Awesome's manager. Mike Awesome comes out, says you've got 2 choices: either get out the ring and live, or stay in the ring and die. And then Kid Cash basically throws his I think it's his shirt actually, into Mike Awesome's face, and we get Mike Awesome versus Kid Cash. Let's watch this one, shall we? So, Kid Cash versus Mike Awesome. This was a really good matchup. 6-year-old me thought it was like, why is the big man why is the small guy taking on the big guy? That makes no sense. 14-year-old me was like, holy, that powerbomb looked brutal. 21-year-old me, this was good. Kid Cash is really fucking good. I think, again, he's on my boy list, I have to admit. He was very entertaining. He gets the crowd behind him until the end. But a beautiful suicide dive to Mike Awesome, and a beautiful hold from Rana where he actually holds the legs. very impressed. But then the powerbomb, I swear Mike Awesome nearly dropped him. Like, I was shaking. I was like, oh my god, please do not do this. And amazingly, Mike Awesome manages to hold Kid Cash. Does the powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, title's defended. Mike Awesome defends the title in this match. It's I don't know what the rule is on ECW World Title. I need to double check it. But this was good. Jazz comes out to basically help Kid Cash get to the back. Then we have Jado and Guido come out to attack Jazz. Not a fan of that, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't back in the day. Wasn't now. Then Chris Chen and Nova come out. Jazz gets some revenge on Simon Diamond. Punches him. Sends him to the back. And we have Jado and Guido versus Chris Chen and Nova. Let's watch this match. So we just had Jado and Guido versus Chris Chen and Nova. This was really entertaining. Bit sloppy, not gonna lie, but this was good. It was a very good match, fun, entertaining matchup, and yeah, it was really good. Nothing really of note. Nova and Chris Chen get the win, which is a very entertaining moment. But yeah, the fans were happy with it, and yeah, there was nothing really too botchy in the match, but it was still entertaining. Then we have Louis Dangerously and Elektra sharing a message, basically explaining why she turned on Roadkill and Danny Darwin, which would actually, if I remember, around this time, it would actually lead to Lita debuting with the company before going to WWE with S.A. Rios. Who was the they were Lita would manage S.A. Rios, and that's how she got into the company, and then team with Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys become Team Extreme. So yeah, so next up, guys, we have two staples of ECW, Little Guido versus Super Crazy in a semi-finals match for the ECW TV title. I love these two. I think this is going to be a great match. Let's watch it. So, we just had Little Guido versus Super Crazy in the semi-final match, and this was very entertaining. It was an Italian death match. Chair was used, a belt was used, and a table was used. This was good. Super Crazy gets the win after a moonsault and a powerbomb. It was good. You know, these two have put on better matches, but this was entertaining, to say the least. I do apologise about that. And then we go back to the commentators who talk about ECW Hardcore Revolution, the real, authentic ECW game. Not particularly, didn't really look authentic. It was an N64 game, so using the No Mercy code, if I recall. But yeah, it was entertaining. It was funny to see these two just talk, and it was funny to see Joey just beat the shit out of Cyrus. I have to admit, it was funny. So now we have Quintaro Tanamura, apologies if I've said that wrong, versus Balls Mahoney. Let's watch this one. So we just had Balls Mahoney versus Quintaro. This was a quick match. It was only a few minute match. It was like probably a 2-3 minute match. Literally just get in, get out, get your stuff in. The Baldies come out to attack Balls Mahoney, who wins with the powerbomb. I think it was. And yeah, we go straight into the Baldies versus New Jack. Obviously, New Jack's music is dubbed because they can't really play a licensed music. I can't remember what the song. I'm going to have to double check what New Jack's old entrance song was. I will double do that now and watch the match. So we have the impromptu match with the Baldies and the and New Jack. I forgot that this was the moment where New Jack actually nearly killed himself. Hardcore match, weapons were used, tables were broken, and New Jack and I can't remember who the guy was, I do apologise, one of the Baldies, were on top of the scaffold, grabs him, pushes him off, he didn't want to go, lands straight on New Jack's head, cracks his skull open. It is, oh my god, it's fucking nasty. 6-year-old me actually puked at that. Like, I was like, 14-year-old me was like, oh, that's hardcore. And then new me is like, nope, that is disgusting. So I'm not really going to talk about the match much. It was just a weapons match mainly, and it was bad. So next up, guys, I believe we have the triple threat tag team match for the tag titles, and we'll watch that, shall we? So we just had the triple threat elimination tag team match for the ECW tag team titles. This was very entertaining. Mike Awesome and Raven get eliminated first after a roaring elbow from Masato Tanaka. And then after a quick tag team matchup, the Impact players win the tag team titles after a pile driver from Landstorm onto Mr. Tommy Dreamer. This is very good, really entertaining. Very good, high-paced, hardcore style to begin the match, then traditional tag team match, and yeah, really enjoyed it, really fun. 6-year-old me was, loved it. 14-year-old me loved it, and I love it. I think it was really good. Not very botchy, but very good. Cyrus is in the ring now, basically saying congratulations to them, and then we have our main event, Rhino versus Super Crazy for the ECW television title. Let's watch this. So we just had Super Crazy versus Rhino for the ECW World TV title, and I have to admit, this was a fun little matchup. Basically what happens is, Super Crazy, Cyrus comes out, supports Rhino, obviously, saying that nothing's going to happen, blah, 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 Rhino's going to win. Then Paul Heyman comes out, basically says a lot of shit about the network. Gunther comes out, says shit about the network. And then Super Crazy comes out, we get our match. Very entertaining matchup between these two. Speed versus power. Great combination. And we get Super Crazy with the triple moonsault after Tajiri gets involved, after RVD gets involved. With the win, 1, 2, 3. Super Crazy is the World TV Champion. We now have Rhino, Tajiri, Steve Corrino, and Jack Victory beating up RVD and Super Crazy. And RVD's friend. But if I recall, I feel like Sandman comes back and batters everybody. Also, New Jack's song was Natural Born Killers. I forgot that he actually came out of that. And I think Enter Sandman is playing. One moment. It's a dubbed. It's not the real Enter Sandman by Metallica, obviously, but Sandman comes back and kills everyone. So, what did I think of the show overall? For 2000, it was what it was. But it was a good show. Do not agree with the male on female violence. I fucking hate that. The wrestling was great. There were some botches in here and there. But at the end of the day, it was a great show. 2000's me would have rated it a little bit, I would have rated it really high for being a great show and the first time I've ever seen ECW. Myself, now, I'd say give it a watch. Go in with the mindset that it is a different time era, it's a different period, so please keep that in mind when you watch it. But if you want to just watch ECW, it's a great show. It's a good show, sorry. It's a good show, not bad, but it can change. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching episode 78 of the Classic Wrestling series, which is ECW Living Dangerously 2000. Where will we go next? I think we're going to take a trip to WCW. I think we're going to go WCW next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. As always, stay safe, keep that smile on your face. It does look good on you. And be safe, ladies and gentlemen. TTFN, ta-ta for now.